People say, oh, you know, they translate things from the Bible that, like, oh, God doesn't want us to know this, or God doesn't want to know that. And you know, even like, above all, God wants you to prosper. Right. You know, that's not even in the Bible. It's translated totally wrong. Because God, above all, God wants you to be saved. But we take things, one little word that's translated wrong, and we build a whole doctrine on it.
Wow.
And that's why it's so important that we don't misunderstand. Here Jesus in Matthew 24, we'll go over there now because that's where I teach you a lot. Matthew 24, Jesus himself lists all the things. He answers the disciples, and they said, what will be the sign of your return? What will be the sign of the end of the age? The sign when you'll come back. And he says, here they are. And he goes, it lists and lists and lists. Earthquakes. All these things he talks about. And then he said, learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, you know that summer's nigh. And he means any tree. He says it twice in different places. Says it, when you see the leaves, what do you know? Duh. Summer's coming. Spring blooms out. And so summer's coming. So he says, likewise, when you see all these things, which we're seeing now, know that it is near. My coming is near, even at the door. We can know those seasons that where he's coming back. We can know that even the times. We can't know the day. We can't know the hour. Because God's going to say, go. And I'll tell you what. He wants us to study, to show ourselves approved. He wants us to be aware. Why do you think I'm such a fanatic? I was in prison 5 years, and I spent basically 5 years in the Word. It changed my life. I used to believe that we would never go through any trouble. Wow. But as I studied the Bible, I see the rapture, the coming of the Lord, takes place at the final trumpet. And if that's true, well, he says it is, so I believe it is. If that's true, then he's going to, you know, we're going to go through some things. And that final trumpet is where it is in the Bible. And we need to know that we're to be ready. And so quickly, let me go on. So he tells us all the things. But then he goes and says, but that day and the hour knoweth no man. No, not even the angels of heaven, but my Father only. So what have we done? Here we go again. We've taken one verse out of the place where it was written, and we say, oh, we can't know. So I'm not going to study. I'm not going to prepare. I'm not going to be ready. I'm not going to be looking. He didn't say you wouldn't know the times when the Lord's going to come back. He said, but you wouldn't know that day or that hour. And no, not the angels of heavens, but only my Father. But as the days of Noah were, then he goes right back, just the verse 37, then verse 37. He said, but as the days of Noah were, so you shall also see the coming of the Son of Man be. So he goes on to say, and he starts listening again. More things to look for, as it was in the days of Noah. They were eating and drinking and marrying, giving, and entered into that. That's what it'll be when the Son of Man returns. So all of these things. Wherefore, for you know not what hour your Lord doth come. You don't know the hour, but you can know the day that you're living in. And I want to tell you something. We're living in the last days. We are living. You know, Jesus taught us every sign of his return. And that means hour means hour. It doesn't mean that we can't know what times we're living in. And we're living in those times.